So hello everyone, here we are again with our HR training course. So in this video we will discuss about interviewing techniques. What are the interviewing techniques that you should follow? So let's get started or interviewing techniques. So here we will learn what are the types of interviews and what type of strategy we should use. So let's talk about structured interviews. So in structured interviews, our first point is consistent questions. Ask all candidates the same set of questions to ensure fairness and easier comparison. So you should make some set of questions and ask from the candidates. After that you can easily compare it. So let's move on to next point, which is scoring system. Use a standardized scoring system to evaluate answer. So you have to make standard of score, so in which you can easily evaluate the answer, like who has given the right answer to you and who haven't given you the right answer. So now our next interview type is behavioral interviews. So in which our first point is past experiences. Ask candidates to describe past experiences that demonstrate how they have handled situations relevant to the job. So you should also ask them what's their past experience, how they have handled their situations while doing their job. It will be also helpful for checking their problem solving skills. So let's move on to next point, which is the STAR method. Encourage candidates to answer using the situation, task, action and result format. So you can also encourage the candidates by giving them a situation and task, action, and it should be the result oriented. So it will be helpful for you to assess their behavior in different situations. So let's move on to next type, which is competency based interviews, in which our first point is skill focus. Assess specific competencies, problem solving, teamwork required for the job by asking targeted questions. So you can also ask from them targeted questions for assessing their specific competencies, specific capability. So let's move on to next point, which is scenario questions. Present hypothetical situation to see how candidates would apply their skills. So hypothetical means assumption. So you have to make some assumption based problems and give them to your candidates and see how would they apply their skills in that situation. It will be helpful to you for assess the skills of candidates. So our next type is panel interviews. Multiple interviewers involve several interviewers from different departments to assess a candidate from various perspectives. So you can also allow to your all departments to take a interview of a candidate. That will be helpful for you for assess the candidates from various perspectives, cause it happens sometimes you don't have knowledge of finance departments, but it can be possible the one person in the finance department have all the knowledge of their field. So you should take the candidate interview by that person who is in finance. That will be helpful for you to assess a candidate from various perspectives. So let's move on to next point, which is diverse feedback. Gather collective insights to make a more balanced hiring decisions. So you should always gather some feedback from the candidates, like how was their experience while interview. It will be helpful for you to make balanced hiring decision. So let's move to our next type, which is technical interviews. For technical interviews, you can do skill assessment. Test the candidate's technical knowledge and problem solving abilities through practical exercises or tests. So you can give them a practical exercise, or you can also take their practical test in which you will know their problem solving abilities. You will able to assess their practical knowledge, their technical knowledge about the job role. So let's move to our next point, which is real world scenarios. Use job related challenges to gauge their capability. So you can also give them job related challenges, like what are the challenges that they would face in future. So you can also check their capability while giving them a job related challenges. So let's move to our next type, which is situational interviews. So in situational interviews, our first point is hypothetical scenarios. Ask candidates how they would handle a specific situation that could arise in the role. So you can give them a hypothetical scenario and you can also assess their capability. So let's move to our next point, which is problem solving focus. Evaluate their ability to think critically and make decisions. So you have to give them any situations and assess them, like how are they making critical decisions, are they able to make any critical decisions or not. Like that you can assess their problem solving skills. So let's move to our next type, which is informal interviews. So in which our first point is casual setting. Conduct interviews in less formal environment over coffee to put the candidate at ease and gain deeper insights into their personality. So if you want to assess their personality also, then you have to give them an informal environment in which they will be comfortable with it. So after that you can easily assess their personality. So our next point is cultural fit. Assess how well they might integrate into their company culture. So also you should assess how would they integrate to your company culture. It is also important to engage them with your company culture. So let's move to our next type, which is stress interviews. So in which our first point is high pressure questions. Deliberately create stress or discomfort to see how candidates handle a pressure. So you should deliberately create stress or discomfortable situation in which you can assess the candidates how would he react in that discomfort or stress situations. So like that you can also assess their stress management abilities. So let's move to our next point, which is role specific. Used in roles where high stress is common to evaluate candidates resilience. So you can also give them any role in which there are more stressful work like sales and evaluate their resilience, like how would they handle their stress. So let's move to our next type, which is video interviews, in which our first point is remote assessment. Use video conferencing tools to interviewing techniques, especially for remote or international roles. So if you are hiring for international roles and face-to-face interviews aren't possible, then it is important for you to use video conferencing tools like Google Meet so that you can assess their capability. So let's move to our next point, which is time efficiency. Save time and resources by conducting initial screening by video. And it is also good for you and candidate also to give and take the interview while video conferencing. These techniques can be used alone or in combination to comprehensively understand the candidate's qualification, experience and fit for the role. So yeah, you can use these techniques alone or in combination also for understanding the candidate's qualification, experience and he or she would be fit for the role or not. So in this video I have told you interviewing techniques, and our next video we will talk about onboarding processes. So make sure you connect with us so that you are not able to miss any update from us. If you have any questions, any queries, you can reach out to our phone number. Also you can check our website and also you can email us. So for now, thank you for listening.